Hello and welcome to Isekai to Watch. If you're a fan of Isekai anime, then you know that one of the most exciting parts of these stories is when the main character is given a second chance in a fantasy world. Today, we're counting down the top 10 Isekai anime where the MC gets a second chance to make a new life for themselves. Get ready for some exciting adventures and character development as we explore these amazing series. Number 10. The Fruit of Evolution. Before I knew it, my life had it made. A man claiming to be a deity hacks into the school intercom system and orders all the students to form teams and prepare to be transported to another world, where they will receive special abilities to defeat the evil demon king causing havoc. The transfer is successful for most students, but Seiichi Hiragi, who is frequently bullied by his classmates due to his appearance, is left behind because nobody wants to be his partner. The self-proclaimed god still decides to send Seiichi to the alternate world, however he ends up lost in a forest far from any human settlement. Seiichi tries to find a way to improve his situation, but things just seem to get worse. Eventually, he comes across a mysterious fruit called the Fruit of Evolution that could potentially be his first step towards a better future. Number 9. Isekai Cheat Magician. Taichi and Rin, two high school students, are walking to school one morning when a glowing light transports them to a world filled with magical creatures. Upon arrival, they are confronted by a beast, but are saved by a group of adventurers who tell them that they are vulnerable to monster attacks due to their lack of experience and weapons. The adventurers guide Taichi and Rin to the guild, where they can assess their magical abilities and register as adventurers. However, when they take the test, they discover that they have extraordinary powers beyond the abilities of a standard mage, making them cheat magicians. As they learn to use their powers and get accustomed to their new world, the pair looks for a way back home while also facing unexpected challenges. Number 8. Demon Lord, Retry. Akira Uno is an ordinary working adult who is responsible for managing the MMORPG Infinity game. After 15 years of running the game, Uno decides to close it down for good. However, as the clock strikes midnight, he suddenly finds himself in the body of middle-aged Hakuto Kunai, the demon lord of Infinity Game. Upon arriving in this new world, he witnesses a demon called Griel chasing after a little girl named Aku. Despite easily defeating the demon, Hakuto is puzzled about how he ended up in this unfamiliar world and his connection to Aku and the demon. Determined to uncover the mystery of his transport to this fantasy realm, Hakuto sets off on a journey with Aku as his companion and guide, leaving a trail of destruction behind them. Number 7. KonoSuba, God's Blessing on This Wonderful World. After Kazuma Satu, a high school student and recluse, dies a ridiculous and pitiful death while returning from buying a game, he is confronted by a goddess named Aqua. She offers Kazuma the choice of going to heaven or being reincarnated in a fantasy world, which every gamer dreams of. Deciding to start a new life, Kazuma is tasked with defeating a demon king who is wreaking havoc on villages. Before setting off on his mission, Kazuma is given the opportunity to choose one item to help him on his journey, and he picks Aqua. However, Kazuma soon realizes that he made a mistake in choosing Aqua, as she is completely useless. Their problems do not end there, as they discover that living in a fantasy world is not as exciting as it seems in games. Instead of going on an exciting adventure, Kazuma and Aqua must work to pay for their living expenses. It seems that their misfortunes have just begun. Number 6. Ri is Zero starting life in another world. Subaru Natsuki is just an ordinary teenager living his everyday life until he is suddenly transported to a fantasy world. Upon arrival, he is attacked by some thugs and, without any weapons or a working cell phone, he is easily overpowered. Just when things seem hopeless, a beautiful woman named Satella comes to his rescue. Grateful for her help, Subaru decides to assist her in her quest to find a stolen insignia. Despite their efforts, they are ultimately killed by a mysterious and malevolent force. But Subaru wakes up to find himself back at the beginning of this strange sequence of events, reliving the same series of events over and over again with Satella by his side. The reason for this time loop remains a mystery. Number 5. I'm Standing on 1 Million Lives. Yusuke Atsuya prefers to spend his time in virtual reality rather than trying to get along with those around him. One day, he sees the popular athlete Ayu Shindu talking to Koju Hakazaki, who frequently misses school due to illness. But when he looks away and back again, they seem to have disappeared. Suddenly, Yatsuya finds himself falling and the world around him begins to change. He falls into a pool of water and when he comes to, he sees a group of enormous monsters. He soon learns that he has been brought into a game world by Shindu and Hakazaki and must complete a quest within 14 days. The unique aspect of this world is that anyone who dies will be brought back to life within 30 seconds as long as one party member is still alive. Yatsuya, Shindu, and Hakazaki must complete a series of quests that become increasingly difficult in order to solve the mystery of this peculiar game world. Number 4. How Not to Summon a Demon Lord. In the fantasy MMORPG Cross Reverie, there is no one more powerful than the Demon King Diablo. He possesses the rarest artifacts in the game and has reached the highest player level, making him unbeatable to those who dare to challenge him. However, Diablo's true identity is Takuma Sakamoto, a solitary gamer with no social skills. He spends all of his time defeating opponents in the virtual world and has no interest in anything else. That is, until a summoning spell transports him to another world where he looks like Diablo. In this new world that resembles his favorite game, Takuma is met by two girls who summoned him, Ren Gelyu, a small Pantherian adventurer, and Shara L. Greenwood, an ample-bosomed elf summoner. They try to enslave him with a ritual, but the spell goes awry and they become his slaves instead. The situation becomes uncomfortable as Takuma decides to help the girls find a way to break their contract while he tries to adapt to his new life as the formidable Demon King. Number 3. The Dungeon of Black Company. After years of striving to achieve a self-sustaining lifestyle as a NEET, Kinji Ninomiya has finally reached his goal and is enjoying a luxurious, lazy existence in a penthouse apartment. However, his plans are abruptly disrupted when he is suddenly transported to another world through a mysterious portal. In this new world, Kinji is forced to work for a ruthless mining company that prioritizes profits above the safety and well-being of its employees. Determined not to succumb to this oppressive corporate lifestyle, Kinji sets out to find ways to quickly amass wealth and build connections with others in this strange new place. With hard work and determination, he hopes to regain his financial freedom and break free from the constraints of this new world. Will Kinji's efforts be successful, or will he be trapped in this corporate life forever? Number 2. Arifureta, From Commonplace to World's Strongest. Hajime Nagumo is a typical 17-year-old otaku whose life is turned upside down when he and his classmates are summoned to a fantasy world and tasked with saving humanity. While his classmates are given powerful abilities that are useful in combat, Hajime is ridiculed for receiving a weak transmutation skill that has no real offensive capabilities. During a journey through the Great Orcus Labyrinth, Hajime is betrayed by one of his classmates and falls to the bottom of an abyss. Despite surviving the fall, he encounters numerous dangers and struggles that plunge him into a nightmarish reality. Determined to survive and find a way back home, Hajime sets out to fight for his life and meets a vampire named Yu who is also trying to escape the labyrinth. Taking a liking to Hajime, Yu and a few other companions join him on his quest to return home, and as they progress, Hajime transforms from an ordinary person to the strongest in the world. Number 1. Mushoku Tensei, Jobless Reincarnation. Despite facing constant bullying, rejection, and oppression throughout his life, a 34-year-old man who had become a recluse found the courage to try and do something brave. Unfortunately, it ended in a tragic accident. However, in a sudden twist of fate, he awakens in a new world as Rudius Greyrat, starting his life anew as a baby born to two loving parents. Due to his retained memories and knowledge from his previous life, Rudius quickly adapts to his new surroundings. Possessing the mind of a fully grown adult, he demonstrates exceptional magical ability, further developing his skills with the guidance of a mage named Roxy Magurdia. Rudius also receives sword training from his father, Paul, and meets Sylphiette, a young girl who becomes his closest friend. As Rudius begins his second chance at life, he works to make the most of this opportunity while overcoming the pain and trauma of his past. And that's it for our list of the top 10 isekai anime where the main character gets a second chance in a fantasy world. We hope you enjoyed the list and found some new series to add to your watch list. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to stay up to date with all of our latest content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.